Hello and welcome to Ankara, the capital of Turkey. Yesterday I traveled on Turkey's first high-speed rail line from Istanbul to Ankara. Today I'm going to take an overnight journey to Izmir on a classic long-distance train. I've secured myself a private sleeper cabin. Would you like to see what it looks like? Let's go then. Ankara is located in central Anatolia with an urban population of 5.1 million. Following the fall of the Ottoman Empire, it became the new Turkish capital upon establishing the republic on the 29th of October 1923. Today, the city is divided between the old and new sections. You can find ancient buildings and narrow winding streets that reflect Roman, Byzantine and Ottoman history. At the same time, the new section had the trappings of a modern city, with wide streets, luxury hotels, shopping malls and high-rises. Due to its central location, Ankara has generally been the exchange point for train services between the western and eastern parts of the country. Just like the city, Ankara Station also has a new and old section. Ankara Garı, alternately known as Ankara YHT Railway Station, was built exclusively for the YHT high-speed trains. The building was officially opened on the 29th of October 2016, the 93rd anniversary of the Republic of Turkey. Apart from having ticket offices, waiting areas and all the other standard facilities, this 30-meter tall building also houses a shopping mall, a 5-star hotel and commercial offices. All high-speed trains from Ankara depart from the YHT station, offering services to Eskişehir, Istanbul, Konya and Karaman. The place may look a bit empty right now, but the 406-kilometer high-speed railway to Sivas is expected to open in 2023, and lines to Izmir, Bandırma, Kayseri and Kapıkule near the Bulgarian border are all under construction. This station is going to get a lot busier in the near future. The new and old parts of Ankara Station are connected through a footbridge. The platform adjacent to the YHT building is used by trains on the 37-kilometer long Başkent suburban line, and the other two platforms are used by the intercity and regional trains. Compared to the new and glorious YHT station, the old station, officially called Ankara Railway Station, consists of an Art Deco building built in 1937. From here you can catch long-distance services towards Istanbul, Izmir, Kars, Tatvan, Malatya and Kurtalan. In the main waiting hall, there's a large screen showing both the long-distance train and the YHT departures. If you have any questions regarding the station or your train, the staff at the information desk below the giant screen is always ready to help. Booking for most domestic trains opens 30 days before departure. You can purchase tickets at most major stations or book them online at Turkish State Railways official website. My train isn't going to depart until 9 PM tonight. I came in the morning just to show you what the station looks like during the daytime. Good evening. To find out which platform your train will depart from, just check the display screen. The train to Izmir is called Izmir Mavi, in English Izmir Blue Train. It travels in both directions between Ankara and Izmir every day. Tonight it's departing from platform 1, located next to the old station building. Basmane is one of the two rail termini in Izmir. Turkey uses electric multiple unit trains for its high-speed rail services, but the slower long-distance trains are still locomotive-hauled. The Izmir Mavi is hauled by a TCDD E68000 electric locomotive designed by Hyundai Rotem in South Korea. It has a power output of 5,000 kilowatts with a maximum speed of 140 km per hour. A total of 80 E68,000s were built. The first 8 were manufactured in South Korea, and the remaining 72 by Turkey's own locomotive builder Tulumsas in Eskişehir. The Turkish State Railways uses the modern air-conditioned TVS2000 railcars on most of its mainline services. Tonight's Izmir Mavi consists of 8 carriages, 2 sleeping, 1 dining and 5 coach cars. Boarding commenced 15 minutes before departure. Let's get on board. The TVS2000 sleeping cars were introduced in 1998. Each carriage has 10 private cabins and each has a bunk bed housing 2 passengers. I read on the internet that solo travelers do not have to share the cabin with a stranger, but for added certainty, I bought tickets for both the upper and lower berth. Above the cabin door are buttons to control the lights, call the train guard and adjust the cabin temperature. There's also a mirror, a power plug and a small sink with hand towels and hand wash. By the way, I had no problem with using that power plug to charge my phone throughout my journey. Under the sink, there's a small rubbish bin. Opposite the bed, there's a large extendable table. You are not gonna believe what's under this table. I've traveled on many night trains around the world, and this is my first time seeing a mini fridge in the cabin. Turkey can get quite hot in summer, so the passengers must greatly appreciate this personal fridge. Above the table are 2 coat hangers and space for 1 large suitcase or 2 small carry-on baggage. Between the 2 seats are 2 single-use sleepers. The window is square-shaped and there's a blind and a curtain to block the lights outside. There's a toilet at both ends of the carriage. They are locked while the train is at the station, so I have to show you later. Separating the sleeping and the coach cars is the dining car. There are 6 dining tables on either side of the train, and each table can seat 4 passengers. Prior to the 2008 smoking ban, the dining car had a smoking and non-smoking area divided by a glass partition. Same as on the YHT, the dining car only sells a limited range of cold snacks and non-alcoholic beverages. Therefore, I recommend you to get something to eat before catching the train in Turkey. The rest of the carriages are all coach cars, and I believe there are 2 types of them. This is the first type. The seats are in a 1-2 configuration with a total of 60 seats. There are overhead TVs, and each seat is equipped with a tray table, a seat pocket, and a footrest. In addition, there's a power plug next to each window seat. Almost all seats are reclinable and rotatable, therefore most of them can face the direction of travel. Moving on to the next coach car. As you can see, they look a bit different. The seats are also in a 1-2 configuration, but the carriage lights are much dimmer and there's no overhead TV or footrest. Regarding the train's accessibility, there are 2 wheelchair spaces in one of the coach cars, and one of the toilets in that car is accessible. As the train has not yet departed, the toilet is still locked. Time to go! We left Ankara Station at precisely 9 PM. Although being categorized as an express service, the Izmir Mavi makes 27 stops along the way, covering a distance of 824 kilometers. It will take us 12 hours and 37 minutes to get to the destination. I think 12.5 hours is a good duration for a night train. I get to stay up for 2 hours before bed, then have a decent 8 to 9 hours of sleep before arriving in the morning feeling fresh and recharged.
Time 1 minute 07 seconds. Distance 2.02 kilometers. Average pace 34 seconds per kilometer. Average speed 107.01 kilometers per hour. Current pace 38 seconds per kilometer. Current speed 94.81 kilometers per hour. Current split pace 32 seconds per kilometer. Current split speed 104.8 kilometers per hour.
The train guard unlocked the toilets shortly after we left Ankara. Squat toilets are still widely in use in Turkey. If you don't want to use this toilet, fortunately the one on the other end of the carriage is a Western type pan and cistern. Each toilet has a sink, a hand wash dispenser and paper towels. Some complimentary snacks are provided for passengers in the sleeper cabin. They were placed inside the mini fridge. There's a pack of pretzel sticks, a chocolate bar, 250 ml of water and a juice box. This is my second time visiting Turkey. Through my experiences in this country, I found the people to be very friendly and felt safe traveling alone. If you are worried about the security on board the train, rest assured that the cabin door can be locked from the inside. I was going to spend some time in the dining car, however, every table was already taken, so I had to return to my cabin. I guess it's time for bed. The train guard had shown me how to put the bed down. It's pretty straightforward. I also put down the upper berth to show you what the space is like when both beds are down. The bedding looks clean and there's a thick quilt and a blanket to keep you warm. And remember, there's a heater in each cabin as well. You can adjust the temperature through this panel. The light switches are too high for me to reach from the lower berth. Anyway, good night. Good morning. This electric locomotive accelerates much more smoother than the diesel locomotive haul trains in Australia. Combined with the warm cabin and the comfortable bed, I had a decent 9-hour sleep. To turn the lower berth back into the seats, just lift the bed and push it against the wall. Thinking that the dining car might still be full of passengers, I was ready to get some bread and eat it in my cabin. Surprisingly, the dining car was empty. The seats in this carriage look basic, but it's still comfortable. There's a power plug next to every window seat. I purchased a cup of tea, a simit, which is a Turkish sesame bread ring, and a bottle of water. These three items only cost me 11 lira, which equals 0.9 Australian dollars. Tea is called chai in Turkey. It is an indispensable part of Turkish culture. People often meet in their local tea houses and tea gardens to share conversations over a cup of tea. On average, each person consumes 4 glasses a day. We just arrived at Manisa. We are only 66 kilometers from Izmir. The station is served by several regional and 2 intercity trains daily. Our train is currently running 70 minutes behind schedule. However, the scenery outside has been really beautiful. Compared to my trip on the YHT high-speed train, this has been an entirely different experience. The overnight trains are much slower and often encounter delays, but the sleeper cabin is spacious and private, the bed is comfortable, the ticket is affordable, and my journey was relaxing. If you want me to say something for them to improve on, I think they could switch one of the 2 toilets in the sleeping car into a shower room and provide hot food in the dining car. But my overall experience had been absolutely positive. If you prefer to avoid taking the night train, the good news is that the construction of a high-speed rail line from Ankara to Izmir is well on the way. When it opens in 2025, it will reduce the journey time from 12.5 hours to just 3.5 hours. Izmir is the 3rd largest city in Turkey, after Istanbul and Ankara. It has an urban population of around 3 million. The city lies at the head of the sheltered Gulf of Izmir on the Aegean Sea and is home to one of the largest ports in the country. Izmir has 2 rail termini. Alsancak is the 2nd oldest railway station in Turkey. It has 6 platforms and 10 tracks and is currently used as a main hub for eastbound commuter trains. Basmane station has 4 platforms and 7 tracks. It is the terminus of every long-distance and regional train in Izmir. Alsancak and Basmane stations are approximately 2 kilometers from each other. They both are situated in the center of the city. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video interesting or the information I provided useful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more train and flight reviews. In my next video, I will review Turkish Airlines' domestic business class product on its Boeing 777 wide-body aircraft. See you there!